Hey, what's up, everybody? It's CrossCurrent. Today I'm giving you a beginner's guide to Icarus. So the way I'm going to run this guide is I'm just going to show you everything from each screen I go to, and then everything once you get inside the game, skipping nothing unless there's just dead time where I do nothing other than what I've already told you. Let's get started. So on here, you can play regular, you can play offline. Offline means that, of course, you're offline, so most likely achievements won't be there. You probably can't transfer the character to anywhere else. But if you don't have Wi-Fi, it's a good way to just learn the map and kind of get a game plan for the future. Now, in the settings, the only thing I changed was the quality I turned down to high because both me and my community, when I was streaming, noticed that the epic quality makes everything extremely bright and it actually kind of hurts my eyes after a while. So, just something to consider. Everything else, I kept the same. Seems pretty decent. I obviously don't need to mess with credits or exit. Let's go to play. If you have any bugs, be sure to hit the feedback button up there they saw earlier. So this is a character screen. You can make multiple different characters. Let's make a new one. Now with this stuff right here, you can change this at any time. So like if I were to choose my other character, you come down, you can change it there. So we'll just do a basic. There's only 2 voices, which is kind of sad. Everything else, yeah. All right. Name him Croissant. All right, in this screen, there's a lot of things that need to be discussed. So on the bottom left, this is stuff that's going to happen when you level up in the game. The talents and the tech tree. The accolades, that's just showing you special achievements you can get throughout the game. And there's a freaking lot of them. You can go down here to customize your character again if you want them to look different. The talents, those are based like attributes or skills you'll learn every time you level up. Now, there's a limited amount of these. I believe a total of 60 since there's only 60 levels that'll actually give you these. So be smart about it. I would say definitely choose one specific thing from combat. Um, Construction, I didn't really seem to be very useful unless you're the designated builder and okay with that. I would lose my mind if I was just constructing all game, but to each their own. If you're doing combat, I would say though, I'm choosing bows and I'm doing hunting. So then I have both of those together and I can just max them out while having a little bit of versatility. Some of these skills are also pretty good, like the extra health, extra movement, just because you're always going to be needing that within the game. The solo talent tree isn't as important because you can only use it in solo. So if you go from solo to a group, these things will just disappear. Obviously, you can use them again when you go to solo, but this game is meant for multiple people. Solo is really challenging. If you're doing that, I suggest an offline mode or some sort of exploration or sandbox mode. Okay, so the workshop. When you finish different quests or missions, you get some currency. That shows right there. Use this currency to research different things here, and then you can actually make 1 or 2 of them for your loadout. You move your loadout to your dropship cargo, but you can only bring 5 of it back unless there's something that boosts that I haven't seen yet. For you to be able to bring it back, you have to make sure the item doesn't get destroyed fully. So like if it's really low, you can bring it back to your base and put it back in the dropship, and on the next mission it'll be back to full health, like you just repaired it up in the sky where you're from. The Enviro suits, I have never had any situation where they break, so that's typically a good way to go. Also, those typically open up different things to unlock. Now, if you want a guide on what's best and worst to get from here, let me know and I'll make a guide for it. That's going to take a lot more details and it's going to take a lot more testing for me. Oh, that's interesting. It appears since I unlocked some of this on my other character that I can just craft it right here and now on this new character. If that's the case, or if it's not, just comment below. I have no idea because I haven't made a second character in this game. And that currency I haven't seen yet, but it's necessary for certain things to be unlocked. Alright, let's get going. Select this character. So, when it comes to the prospects, you can join a prospect with your friends. Uh, on here, though, it seems to be a little bit glitchy. So you're going to have to do Shift Tab and right click on someone's name and join their lobby, or do that to invite them to your lobby. Outpost is the sandbox mode with no timers. So if you're trying to if you're like a CSGO player that just wants to know everything on the map, this is a way to go. But you won't be able to keep much of anything, really. Also, apparently in this mode, I've heard that there are no offensive animals, which is typically the best way to level up. So you just be hunting deer for an extreme amount of time and earning very small experience from chopping trees. Alright, come to new prospect list. That's the tutorial. It's pretty basic. Here, they all have rewards down there to help you out. And you can do the missions over and over again. So if you really need grind, I would suggest doing the bio research one. You just have to run quickly, touch a couple plants, and you get 100. So people have been able to complete that in about 10 minutes. Not sure if that's a glitch or not. They said you could just go to one plant, touch it, leave. Hopefully that's not the case because that's kind of cheesing the game. Kind of like people in Skyrim who would just cheese levels. But yeah, the Ice Storm and Day Run Expedition, I would suggest taking a group. They're not the easiest of ones, but they do unlock things for the future, which, me personally, that's what I prefer to do. Let's start with the terrain scan. Here is when you can move stuff over to the dropship cargo, but I don't have any of that right now. You can set to private or friends only. I say just friends only, unless you have some really weird friends. I would turn the dialogue volume off if you're tired of hearing the voice all the time. I personally am. Alright, so the loading screens will take a while to send you in, and right when you start in, it might be pretty laggy. I would suggest looking up solutions for that quickly, otherwise it can really mess with your gameplay. Also, turning things down from epic to high might also help. That helped a great deal with me. Make sure you don't have a lot of different windows open, and if you're streaming and this problem's happening, it might have something to do with OBS Studio. I've had problems with that, and yet it would work fine in Streamlabs, so be sure to check that out early before you get stuck facing a wolf or a bear. Alright, so you are now on Icarus. The main thing you want to do is level up quickly. You can get to level 10 in roughly like an hour or two. So the best way to do that, just pick up everything around you. At the start, you're going to want to pick up about 12 rocks so you can make the pickaxe and the axe. I'd say make the pickaxe first. If you don't find the other rocks, you can then chop stuff down to make the axe. Fortunately, I was lucky. Now, chopping down trees initially gives you 300 experience. Chopping them down further after that does not give you a lot of experience. So I say just start downing a bunch of trees, get some quick experience. Whenever you're running in between places, just make sure you're pressing F as many times as you can just to gather more fibers. You can use these fibers later to make bandages and other things while you're leveling up your other skills. Now, at this point in the game, you want to be pretty careful about wolves because you don't have a good way to fight them. The knife is pretty good against wolves, so that's an option. But man, you want to be able to get to a bow and make at least stone arrows to take them out. So, we just got our first level. That means we get 3 points to our tech tree and 1 talent point. So at this stage, I think I'm just going to get the movement. I didn't try it last time, but you're always going to be moving around, and this will allow you to move quicker to get more stuff done. Tech tree. Start with the bow, get the arrows. Now, for you to successfully sleep through the night, you're going to need a campfire and you're going to need the bedroll. The bedroll being up there. The bedroll requires furs, leathers, and other stuff like that. So, you really do need to kill wolves to get that. Killing the other animals might be able to get you there, but it's going to take a long time with some of the other animals. Wolves tend to give you the most fur. Even with bears, which I think is kind of strange. Killed the bear and I got absolutely no fur. Not sure if it's just unlucky, a glitch, or something else. Now, when I first started out, I thought, I'm going to go to that island. That's great. Nothing will get to me. Everything just swims across. And then you're stuck facing them, and if you can't kill them, you have to come across the water, probably at night, which sucks because you're going to give yourself hypothermia. And there's a wolf already. Be prepared to die in this game. It's going to happen a lot, and right now I have absolutely nothing to fight the wolves, so I'm probably going to go down here. We'll say I'm still aggravated that this glitch is still here, where the wolf moves past me and attacks me, and I still get hit. I hope they fix that at some point, because whether that's lagging or something else, possibly lagging because I'm on OBS, I felt they dodged some of those. But here we are. Just hold F to respawn. Since I do not have anywhere to respawn, it's going to send me back down through one of the dropships. And it'll be tough for me to level up again, because as you see on the top left, where all that red is, that's how much experience got removed. Now, this will not take you down a full level. So if you're a level 2, you won't go down to level 1. But you'll be a level 2 with absolutely no experience. So you just gotta start over on that level. Make the stone knife. I messed up on that. Stone knife is pretty good for killing the wolves. Not entirely sure why, but I've had the most success with that. Okay, so if you see on the map, you have to open it up and wait a little bit for it to actually load. There's where I died. If you go to the center of there, I know you can't really see the mark underneath it. That's pretty much where you're going to find what you need. Now, something that I misunderstood about this game is some of the food items you find you need to cook, otherwise you can get food contamination. So, with pumpkins and corn and other stuff, you gotta put it in the campfire to grill it. And you'll also get some health bonuses. Now, okay, so I need this, take all. That'll be in the G slot. The G slot is where you have either an animal carcass that you're carrying to a skinning table, or certain things that are quest items like radar. But as I was talking before, there are many different status effects that can happen. I believe starting off in the game, you can have a total of 3 stomach bonuses, meaning you ate like a pumpkin, some berries, and some cooked meat. So it'll give you beneficial things. Careful of the trees when they spam like this. They can end up hurting you, or even killing you just for walking between them. Also, if you ever get stuck in the game, press escape and just hit unstuck. Now, if you get stuck in your ship and you do that, I suggest just leaving and coming back. Otherwise, if you type in unstuck, it'll drop everything in there. Oh crap. I'm gonna go die again. You can aim for the head. You can aim for the head a lot better with the knife for some reason. It'll deal so much more damage. It seems to be about 3 to 4 times the damage. Also, when you're done attacking a wolf, skin it to get a lot of experience as well. And for minimal experience afterwards, just use the knife to attack the corpse to grab the bones. Now, I forgot to mention this earlier. If you look at the bottom left of the screen, you see a bunch of different bars and icons. On the right, you see the water icon. That's for if you're getting dehydrated. You have the food one, which is there for eating food. And you have the oxygen one, meaning you're low on oxygen. Now, to help with the oxygen, you need to find oxide rocks. Uh, Early on, you're just going to be consuming the rocks. Later on, you can make something called an oxidizer, which can give you much better oxygen without wasting as much. But right now, I'd say have about 25 to 50 of this within your inventory, just to be safe, because you might not always be able to find it, and it can really mess you up. Also on the bottom left, you see the health bar, which is in beige or white, and that can be increased over time. Also, if you eat cooked meat, it will give you 20 health back. Okay, so to consume the oxide, just right click, consume stack. It'll only consume what you need. With food, it's different. Food is goofy like that. Alright, so let's make the campfire, bedroll. I haven't found much use from the wooden spear. The wood repair hammer is good for later on in the game, and the basic bandages are good for just spamming out. Are good for just spamming out bandages when you're trying to level up. I'm not going to do that yet because I might need the fiber for other things. Now, when it comes to hunting, you're basically going to want to hold down crouch to stealth shoot and aim for the head as best you can. If you're in stealth and you hit the opponent, you get a 2.5 times multiplier, and also you have the range of the bow and arrow. Now, in this area, it's tough because there's so much foliage, so knocking down trees and breaking down shrubs can really make an active area of wolves easy to kill them in. And if you're trying to really level up later on, and you have the desert level, it is a perfect way to level up because there's angry enemies, good enemies to kill to get levels, but also you can see them all since you're in the desert. Now, also be sure to check on the right side of the map. There's a timer. So it's military time. So once it gets past 12, it's PM times. Right now it's 1:30 p.m. Once it hits about 7 p.m. is when you want to be asleep. So make sure you have all the materials necessary. Looks like I'm barely close to halfway. I'm going to kill about 2 more wolves to even get there. Right now we also have a shower coming in. The best way to avoid that is to be inside a 1x1 house. Make sure when you're making that stuff that you only have as many skills as are basically needed for crafting a 1x1. What I mean is don't put too many skills into the thatch buildings because there's a limited amount in the tech tree. You're going to want to use that for either wood or stone later on. Stone being the main thing that people use, and wood being something that's in between and easier to get to, while being somewhat easy to hold up. Also has a level requirement. So what I suggest is unlocking thatched walls and the thatched floor and the thatched beam, since those are 3 options there. You can make a 1x1 with that and put the floor as a ceiling. Having the roof is typically more aesthetically pleasing, but it's not necessary. So this time I try something different. Since I'm close enough, I might just be able to get 2 more levels before the night and make a wood home. That's not advised though. The cloth armor I haven't really needed to mess with. Oxidizer is important. Wood crate is also important if you're playing by yourself, and the torch will help you in caves to get the irons you need to really progress throughout the game. If you want to know more about caves, I'll make a short video on that, unless I run into it today. I do not think I'll run into it today, though. Now, one of the benefits to the storm is it typically makes it easier to chop down the trees, especially if there's wind. Since that'll deal damage to the trees, you need to do less swings on them to finish them. Like there, I think that would have been normally 3 swings, or possibly 4. like that one. On the bright side, if I come back to this area, making a house should be pretty easy with wood because I have so many felled trees. To repair your items, just right click on them, hit repair. It'll show you what you need right there, which is stone. Here you'll need sticks, etc. And if you're wondering when a storm is going to end, look at the top right. It shows clouds, it shows sunlight, it shows everything like that. It makes it easy to know when the storm's about to end. Mainly this early shower, though, will just make me wet and cold, and maybe have a other little thing, which typically will pop up in the inventory right below there. It'll be in red if there's any downfalls that you have. Alright, so spamming experience, just make a bunch of bandages. It'll fill up your hotbar probably, and you can destroy them to get back some of the materials to do it again. Alright, looks like the storm's stopping. Just a basic one to get you scared in the game. If it's a thunderstorm, I would definitely be scared of that, and I would suggest you move away from big trees so you don't just get lit up and burned. I was talking earlier with the stomach slots for bonuses. Right now I have the barrier one, plus 50 max stamina, minus 10% water consumption. So not bad, not amazing, but it's something more than I had before. Oof. Yeah, you see I just walked into the trees and it gave me a bad buff now. So every time there's a bad thing, a bad buff right here, a debuff, it'll tell you how to heal it as well. So right now I need a blood thinner, which on the tech tree, I'm not going to be able to get there until a couple levels. And I'll need specific flowers or charcoal or something like that. Alright, so we'll destroy these, which gives us 200 fiber back. Bandages aren't good for earning health quickly, not in this game, so keep that in mind. You can see right now, I'm giving myself 75 maximum health, 20% stamina regeneration, so fish is really good for that. Extra stamina from the cooked corn and extra stamina from cooked pumpkin. I mean, I can move fast as heck, boy. And now that I have the tech tree levels necessary, I'm gonna start unlocking wood stuff. I'd say just get what you need. Don't get the extra crap. So like right there, those 6 are just about all you'll need. Everything else is kind of extra at that point. Now, more of the predator type animals like wolves and bears will be out during night in comparison to the day. And at night, there's not a whole lot you can do, but what you can do with the torch, you can press Q to drop it to give you a little bit of vision. Careful though, you can burn yourself. Or you can make flare arrows, which I can show in another video. Now, when it comes to making this one by one, make sure that the arrow is pointing out, or it's going to have the outside in and the inside out. And when it comes to making a doorway, you're going to hold R, and then you have a huge menu of things you can make. And then you just place the door in after you made it. Now, for playing single player, or maybe with 2 people, you can fit them all inside a one by one. But if you're playing with a lot of others, you're going to need much more space. Now, if there are animals nearby that can attack through the walls, well, they can try to attack through the walls and break it down. Which, if you have the hammer, which I don't have unlocked yet, you can repair the walls. I'd suggest just killing the wolves or running away, so then your spawn point doesn't get screwed over. But since I didn't have enough furs to the make the bedroll, I'm just kind of stuck either hanging out here all night or doing little things from time to time and hoping I don't die. Hope this guide helps you out. If it does, please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you want to see more content, and comment below if there's anything about this game you want to see. I'm really looking for suggestions here. Otherwise, I'm probably just going to Google some stuff that people have asked prior. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time.